Hi, I'm Tosin. Today I'm going to talk about Buffett. He's known as the most successful investor in the world. Buffett is Berkshire Hathaway's largest shareholder. During his 61 years of management of the company's assets have increased 77,000 times. Buffett has invested in US stocks for 57 years. His wealth increased 32,600 times. Buffett invested in many things. He prefers investing in things with relatively low risk. His investment areas include calligraphy and painting, gold, currency, banks, farms, real estate, etc. Among them, his investment in the stock market is the most successful. Buffett's life can be said to be a legend. So how did he succeed? As early as the 16th century, the ancestors of the Buffett family had immigrated to the United States from France. They were the first European immigrants to the United States. In the beginning, Buffett's ancestors made a living by farming. They owned a big farm. Hundreds of years passed, and the time came to the 19th century. At the time, railway transportation began to appear. After that, it developed faster and faster. After the American Civil War, the United States began to transform from an agricultural society to an industrial society. In 1863, construction of the first transcontinental railroad in the United States began. A railroad began to pass through Omaha, Nebraska, in the central United States. The city gradually developed. Buffett's great-grandfather lived near Omaha's train station before the railway was completed. He already saw a business opportunity. In this way, Buffett's great-grandfather opened a supermarket near the train station. As the industrialization of the United States continued to develop, his grocery store business was getting better and better. The supermarket gradually became a family business. Buffett's grandfather inherited the supermarket. Buffett also worked part-time at a family supermarket when he was a child. But the experience was very painful for him because Buffett was mainly responsible for moving goods and cleaning. He didn't like this kind of work. After a period of careful management, the supermarket had brought considerable wealth to the Buffett family. So, Buffett was born into a wealthy family. His father was a US congressman. He was also a successful businessman. Buffett's father started out selling stocks, but in 1929, the worst stock market crash in history broke out in the United States. Before the Wall Street stock market crash broke out, at the time, people felt that the stock market was booming. They ignored the risks. Everyone hoped that the stock market would reach new highs in the future. Everyone desired to get rich overnight. After the stock market crash broke out, Buffett's father lost his job. However, he did not lose hope in life. Buffett's father opened his own stock brokerage company. Unexpectedly, the business was going well and he made a lot of money. Buffett's father also became a partner in a stock brokerage firm. This job suddenly improved his social status, and his income was much more than before. After having enough money to gain more power, he decided to join politics. After many rounds of elections, Buffett's father became a member of the Nebraska House of Representatives. In 1930, the Great Depression hit America, but the Buffett family supermarket and the stock brokerage business was still doing well. Therefore, Buffett's family could overcome this difficult time. However, his father always told Buffett that many people did not even have enough to eat. Many people were homeless, so he should cherish this kind of life, especially at this difficult stage. Buffett's father asked him not to waste money. The experience of this special period allowed Buffett to develop a good quality of diligence and thrift. To this day, Buffett still likes to collect beverage bottle caps, especially Coca-Cola bottle caps. Why? Because as early as when he was 6 years old, he was in the trash can in his supermarket, picking up all the drink bottle caps thrown by the customers. Then he would count the bottle caps. He wanted to know which drink had the most bottle caps. Finally, he discovered that Coca-Cola had the most bottle caps, so he wholesaled a large box of Coca-Cola and then sold them to his neighbors door to door. He made a lot of money. Buffett had known how to find what customers needed most since he was a child. In addition, Buffett also sold a lot of chewing gum when he was a child. He mainly sold Wrigley chewing gum. 70 years later, he has become famous. He purchased the Wrigley Chewing Gum Company. Every $20 he earned at a time, his father would help him deposit in the bank. He developed the habit of saving since he was a child. During that time, Buffett experienced the joy of doing business. Once Buffett read a book. This book taught Buffett what compound interest was. Buffett applies the concept of Buffett applies the concept of compound interest to his life, although he has become a super rich man long ago, but his life was extremely frugal. He never drives a luxury car, he only drives second-hand cars. He would rather save the money for investment. Buffett said if he saved 5 million to buy a luxury car, in 20 years this 5 million will become 160 million. So in his opinion, if you buy a luxury car worth 5 million, it is equivalent to giving up 160 million 20 years later. In 1941, when Buffett had just turned 11 years old, he bought his first stock. He invited his sister to buy it with him. Buffett and his sister bought 3 shares of a stock that his father recommended to a client. But then the US stock market plummeted, and his sister was worried. She kept complaining every day that Buffett was losing her money. But Buffett asked his sister to calm down. He believed that the stock price would rise for a time. Soon the stock they selected rose from $38.25 to $202 per share. At such a young age, Buffett had already shown his talent as a stock investor. When Buffett was 14 years old, his savings reached $1,000. Now it's about $20,000. A middle school student had a savings of $20,000, which is impressive. But as wealth increased, his grades were getting worse and worse. Buffett failed many subjects. He was almost expelled from school. His father said to him, if you want to continue doing business, you must improve your grades first, because studying at school can open up a broader life for you. Buffett quickly rose to the top through hard work. By the age of 15, he bought a farm for $1,200. He also contracted a newspaper delivery job in a small town. He even made more than the teachers at his schools every month. At the time, he was well known locally for his smart investment and business acumen. By the time he was 16, Buffett had saved a fortune equivalent to today's $53,000. After graduating from high school, Buffett entered Philadelphia University with honors. As mentioned earlier, Buffett didn't like doing physical work, so his sport talent was very average. He was bad at many sports. Table tennis was his only favorite sport. To reduce the stress caused by studies, he went to the gym every day to practice table tennis. During that time, he played table tennis for 4 hours every day. One of his favorite college courses was the Industrial General course. This course mainly taught system knowledge of different industries, such as textiles, steel, petroleum, etc. He learned a lot from this course. This laid the foundation for his future investment. Buffett was very shy in college. He didn't dare to talk to girls. He never had a girlfriend. But because he had some savings, so he bought a car. At that time, there were still only a few college students who could afford a car. His classmates joked, everyone else has a girlfriend but no car, but you have a car but no girlfriend. Buffett transferred to his hometown university during his junior year. After returning to his hometown, he started learning to short stocks. At the time, he was shorting the stocks of an automaker. The company's stock price fell 95% in 1 year. Before graduating from college, Buffett made a decision. He plans to attend graduate school at Harvard Business School. Buffett's father was surprised when he heard this decision. You know, Buffett had felt that school was of little use to him since high school. Most of his knowledge was self-taught. But at the time, Isaiah's father failed to be elected as the new member of parliament. Moreover, his father's stockbroking business was not going well. After experiencing this, Buffett felt he needed more backers and support. He was very confident about his application to Harvard. He felt that his rich stock knowledge was enough to impress the interviewer. However, the goal of Harvard Business School is to cultivate outstanding managers, not stock masters, and Buffett fell. Buffett was so sad that he didn't go out for a few weeks. Fortunately, his father encouraged him. He applied to Columbia University instead. At Columbia University, he met a mentor who would change his life. Before entering Columbia University, Buffett had read a lot of textbooks, so he was quite familiar with the course content. Therefore, Buffett's mentor liked him. In 1951, Buffett received a master's degree in economics from Columbia University. After graduate school, Buffett returned to his hometown of Omaha. Maybe it was influenced by his father. Buffett decided to become a stockbroker too. Soon after, Buffett established his investment company, Berkshire Hathaway. He began his investment career.